I'd like to start my presentation with 5 words, which 45 years ago have set the world in fear and hope, which are still a symbol of the unexpected that calls for urgent action, which, although we use ironically today, have set free men and their families 1 week in a struggle for life or death. These 5 words are, Houston, we have a problem. Imagine you are in the year 1970, by the way, the year when I was born. Precisely, it is 11th of April at 13:13 Houston time. Here shoots the American space agency NASA the spaceship Apollo 13 to the moon. The experts plan to land on the moon in 4 days. On the 3rd day, April the 13th, there is a loud crash, and the 3 astronauts see how white powder flows from the spaceship. This is their oxygen. 2 from 3 oxygen tanks have just exploded, and their entire oxygen flows into the space. The Houston Control Center is in panic. No one has ever planned with such a disaster. The families of the 3 astronauts are completely horrified. Who from you have seen the film Apollo 13? If this here is the Earth, and this is the moon, on the 3rd day they are here when the explosion happens. If they continue flying according to the plan, they have energy until here, but not enough to reach the gravity of the Earth and so to be pulled on the Earth's surface. It is clear the mission landing on the moon has failed. All already financed geological or other lunar research have been blown away by this explosion. Now, the life of the astronauts is at stake. Now, it is a matter of life or death. In the Houston Control Center, there is one man in charge, the 37-year-old Gene Kranz. He, with his short and flat haircut, he looks you always into the eyes and acts tough but competent. He grasps immediately that in order to save the life of the astronauts, he has to win one fight, the fight for energy. Energy in the space is everything. You need energy in order to move the spaceship, in order to navigate it, and to communicate it with the Earth. Now, every energy unit, every single amp, has a life meaning. Now, they need a miracle. What does Gene Kranz do in this historical moment? He gathers his entire Houston team in one room. The room boils from anxiety and nervousness. The heads are challenged, the ideas rush around, the hearts are full with care, fear, and hope. Gene listens everyone very carefully. At one point, he calls for silence. Then he pulls all the people that has to do with this space mission together. Everyone. The 3 astronauts, the Houston Control Center, scientists, engineers, hundreds of people. Gene says, we haven't lost a man in space until now, and as long as I'm responsible, no one stays there. Failure is not an option. He succeeds to pull all these people, spread around the space, with a magical gravity force in one strong virtual team. One team aligned towards one goal, to save the life of the astronauts. These are 7 days full with incredible character strength, the genius feats of engineering, and above all, an extraterrestrial triumph of leadership. On the 17th of April, the land capsule of Apollo 13 lands, or rather splashes, into the Pacific, and the 3 astronauts are rescued. This is a miracle. This is virtual power. This is a virtual power team. Why I'm telling you this story? Who from you have experienced a project which have a sudden, unexpected change? Okay. How often is the go-live date brought forward or the budget reduced and you still have to deliver but with less energy? Or how often the plan remains the same, but the team members spread around the world lose motivation and that deteriorates the team performance? I personally have heard the statement, Houston, we have a problem, more than once. In my 20 years experience as a manager in global enterprises, I have led virtual teams in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Virtual teams spread across continents, different time zones, and from different cultures. A virtual team is like an atom. where you have the nucleus and various particles flying around. In a virtual team, we aim to retain the gravity despite the distance. The gravity between the individual team members, the particles, as well as to the nucleus, the team purpose and goal. Over the years, I have developed a highly effective method called the 10 big rocks. These are proven in practice success factors to retain the gravity and to unleash the team's power. I'm a father of 5 girls. No joke. 1 wife, 1 marriage, 5 girls. And the oldest one is 11, probably that big from here, and the youngest one is 3. Currently, we are in a very heavy face-to-face period, but one day we will become a virtual team, like most of the families, I guess. And although I'm a bit sad about not seeing my kids, I'm glad that finally I can deploy my expertise at home. Do you know that in the universe, only 10% is material? 10% are planets and stars. 20% is nothing. These are black holes or phenomena that the scientists still cannot explain. And 70% is invisible energy, like, for example, the gravity that holds the universe together. I think in the virtual team is quite similar. You have 10% are the team members in the infrastructure. 20% are undeveloped potentials. And 70% is the relationship between the people, the trust that holds the virtual team together. The art to lead virtual teams is to promote, support, and nurture the 70%. And you will be amazed by the wonderful fruits to come. Thank you.